Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about two old workhorses, the Case 6265 and the Uncle Henry 227 UH. And today they are going to face off. If you'd like to see that, go ahead and check out the video.
Really my menu, so.
Well, that's fine. You want my menu?
No.
Just not a name.
But seriously, I do want to look in here.
Aha, so you did take my menu.
I didn't.
You didn't, because you're a good girl.
Yeah, you can have this.
Thank you.
I do have this. Oh.
All right, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Fortified Castle. Hi to all my viewers. And today we are going to be talking about these two knives. We're going to do a face-off, a comparison of the Case 6265 and the Uncle Henry 227 UH. Both of these knives are very similar. They fall into a class of knives that are called folding hunters, and that's originally what the purpose of these knives were made for. Nowadays, they're just really big, useful knives, and people still use them for hunting, but they also use them on the job, in the trades, and around the house, because they're just very robust, useful, heavy folders. And so without further ado, we'll take a look at them. All right, so both of these knives are 5 1/4 inches long. In fact, if you look at these knives really close, put them right up there, they kind of look exactly alike. Really the only difference, the case dips down a little further here, and the bolster on the Schrade is more angular versus the round bolster on the Case. How about that? So the Case first came out in the late 20s, and the Uncle Henry came out in 1970, I believe. Hold on just a second. Yeah, that's right. 1970. If that sounds kind of weird, remember the Uncle Henry line was an additional brand to Schrade Walden. And if you look up there at the picture, you see the open stock version of this, Schrade Walden 225H, and that came out in 1953. But the original Schrade, which looks just like the one in the picture, came out in 1934. So about 5 years after Case came out with theirs, Schrade Cutlery Company came out with their version of this. So just a natural competitive market, and we're going to compete them. Okay, the weight on these is a little over 5 ounces, so kind of heavy. That's the listed weight on these. I didn't weigh them separately, but they feel about 5-6 ounces to me. This knife right here was produced in 1987. So Case XX, USA, Thunderbolt with 3 dots, and that would make it an 87. And this is brand new. So this knife is a Schrade, was produced by Smith & Wesson, made in China. And so we'll look at this. You have these finger dips here, which I don't know. You really don't use them because your fingers are going to hit on this blade. So it's just aesthetic, but has that natural clasp grip, and it's very comfortable. You can see they're quite large. 5 1/4 inches puts it out. at the end of my hand. The bolster sticks out. You can choke up on these to use them in more detail. You get a saber grind on this one, where on the Uncle Henry, I believe it, yeah, it's a flat grind. Same, contours here. These knives almost look exactly alike. The apex on the main blade is a little higher. You see right there on between the case. Nail nicks a little deeper on the Uncle Henry, but this knife is 34, 35, 30, about 37 years old, whereas so your nail nick's worn down some, and this is brand new. I mean, they just feel exactly alike. Uh, both of them using a space age, long lasting scale. So the case uses prop wood with a bronze uh, oval shield. You have the double bomb Uncle Henry shield here with stag long. Now, I'm not a big stag long fan, but this is done really well. It looks attractive. I like it. Um, as far as that goes, I don't like stag long, but it looks good. That's what I'm trying to say. Uh, and this is prop wood. Um, Originally, these were wood scales. They used stag and bone back in the day. But this looks good too. And again, you have a lot of wear on this knife. You can't see you can barely see the grind lines here on the jigging. So this is well worn. Overall, I'd say this knife is much better built than this one. Doesn't mean that it's better. Doesn't necessarily mean that it'll last longer. This is a less expensive build, but it's robust. I don't think this knife will fall apart on you. Let's look at the top squares on them. Very similar, but the tail is right here on the rounds of these tangs, because when you open the case, it's very smooth, just very smooth there opening it up. Buttery smooth, works really good. Good transitions here. They were having some problems with that in the 80s. I want to show you the skin and blade on this Texas skin and blade on there instead of a spade blade. 6265 Sab. Nice walk and talk. It's nicely cleaned up on the tang there. Let me show you the inside of this real quick. There are slight differences. So you can see on the inside there, you can see the stamp marks. They're, for the most part, they're knocked down. They're like, you could see them, but they're not really jagged or rough. And so the back of the back spring was cleaned up on this knife. And then if we look at the shade, same type of skin and blade on the shade. If you look down there, you can see it's a lot rougher in there. You also don't have a divider that runs all the way down on the blade. And you can see that the case chose to have the divider go all the way down. Now this is not only it's weight savings, but it's also cost saving to cut this divider down. You really don't even need a divider in there. I think knives that have a divider going down between two back springs, it's better. The divider, if it's brass or even nickel silver, acts as a bearing surface, and I just think the knives work better over time. If you have both back springs the same kind of metal sticking together, I just think that's going to cause problems. You're going to have gouging in there. And that's them together. You can see here the tang on the shroud. Let me give you a close-up of this. A lot rougher there, you see that? Even the metal doesn't seem properly formed. Just overall, you know, a little rougher build. Not necessarily inferior, just, you know, not as finely finished as the case. When you look at that case, just looks better. Even the nickel silver on the bolsters looks better if you look at them. Bear in mind this is worn and this is brand new, but you see how this looks silver and this is kind of a off color, not quite silver. And you know, nickel silver is an alloy. They can mess with it, and I think they're using a little more tin in the knees and less nickel to save money, and that's why you get that little off color look to them. You can see it right there. Well, can you? I don't know. There's a difference. This is like a little yellower, and this is just silver. I think you could see it right there, the difference. All right. Overall, you know, I think the case is definitely a better knife. I think this is completely adequate. There's a huge price difference. If you bought one of these new, they're around $105. You can get them a little cheaper and a little more expensive. That's about what they run. These, I believe, are in the $20 range. So big difference in price. Of course, Chinese produced. And just hard to believe that they can produce a knife for $20 with all that brass, all the metal in it. Oh, this is stainless steel, and this is stainless steel too. Both of them. This is a True Sharp, I believe. Hey, make me a liar. I know it's stainless steel. Yeah. Doesn't say it. I know it is though. All right. That is the review. Uncle Henry and Case head to head. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for your support.